Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brandon and you're watching Mon-Comics. Thanks for stopping by. It is August in upstate New York, which means it is Madison-Bouckville Antique Week. The 1 week a year where comics come to me. So we're gonna go take a look around, see if we can find some deals, hopefully find the best deals I've ever found here. Let's go. Look around me, it's just a sea of tents, and this whole town is taken over by antique dealers. So like, I'll have a couple hours to hunt today, but I won't even be able to scratch the surface. So I try to go as fast as I can without missing stuff, because I do have to get home, but hopefully we find something. So yeah, there's like two main areas. I'm just leaving one. I perused through. I did buy a couple of comics, so that's good news. You could spend days over here and not see everything, but now I'm walking a little further east, see what else I could find. It's 85 degrees out here. I'm walking miles, so a fresh squeezed lemonade hits the spot for sure. Gotta keep going though. Okay, guys, so that was the Madison-Bouckville Antique Show in Bouckville, New York, and it actually happens twice a year. There's a weekend show in June that's not as big, but there are still comics to be had there, but this was the big one. The fall one is a week long, and it's just mobbed, it's crazy, and it's a really good time. I love going to it every year. Like I said, it's the only time of the year comics come to me. I actually went out a couple times throughout the week, the first being Sunday before the show started. The show starts Monday, and I just decided to give it a shot, go Sunday, see if any vendors were set up. And then I went Wednesday again to look and see if I could find anything else. And I have more time to cover more ground. So glad I went. I'm so excited. You guys probably saw some books in the footage that I was able to get, and I got the best deals I have ever got at the show. Now, I didn't come away with a ton of books. I only bought 5. And 2 of those were gifts for my friends over at the Comic Room Podcast. So I'm not going to divulge what they were. So if you're not following the Comic Room Podcast, go check them out on YouTube. It's actually Spro's Comics, and you'll see their podcast that they actually do audio for too. But they show a lot of books on that show, so they might show the books that I sent them. So go check them out. But there are 3 books I picked up that I want to talk about. Was really excited. Really great time this year. I'm very grateful I got these books. So let's get right into them. Now, the Sunday when I went to my tried and true guy that's usually there with comics, and sure enough, his books were there. He wasn't there. His partner was, and he had 3 long boxes, or a long box and a couple short boxes. I can't remember. But he said that the first box was a mix. It was $2 per book. The middle box was prices as marked, and then you could see the Spider-Man, all Spider-Man box. They didn't have them marked yet, but they had a notebook with prices in it of what they were looking for them. So I was like, cool. So as you can see in the video, a lot of the early issues were roached, but as I got into the later issues, they were in pretty decent shape, and I did end up picking up a couple. The first one is just a classic. It's The Amazing Spider-Man issue 51 from 1967. Great cover by the just incomparable John Romita Sr. And this one was written by Stan Lee. And it's the second appearance of the Kingpin. I mean, what more can you say? 50's that iconic cover. Probably one of the best covers in comic book history. But this is the first cover appearance of Kingpin. So I had this at around a 4.0. I think that's a fair grade. There are some issues on the spine. But the black and the corners are actually pretty nice for this book. I'm not an Amazing Spider-Man collector, but I picked this up for my members giveaway. Each month I pick a bunch of books and I do a members giveaway and do a live stream. So I thought this would be a fun one to include in that. So for this one, I paid $70, which is about fair market value. I started looking at eBay comps for similar grades. So it was about spot on when he told me the price. So still cool pickup, cool to have this come to my area and be able to go out and get it in person. Now, this next book might raise an ethics question with some of you. This is how I lay it out. I got this book for pretty cheap, cheaper than what I think it's worth it. Now, when I go out hunting, whether it's a shop, a show, antique mall, anywhere where people have the knowledge, I am the buyer, not that I can't be the buyer and the seller. So if someone has a price marked that might seem too good to be true, it's not my job to educate them. They have all the resources in the world to find out the prices for this. Now, let's play a different scenario. Say one of my friends, John, says, hey, my uncle has a comic book collection he wants you to look at. Brings it over, and it's got Hulk 1, AF-15, Amazing Spider-Man 1, just the heavy hitters. And he says he wants $500 for all of them. At that point, you say, no, these are worth more. Let me educate you on their value. Let me show you how, if you want to sell them, would be the best way to max your returns on them. And if you're interested, I'd love to help you sell them. And that good karma, you know, maybe he'll help me out for a finder's fee or educating him instead of ripping him off. So I think there's a big difference there in when you're buying a comic or when, you know, from someone who is a comic seller or an antique seller and has the ability to look stuff up and should be doing the research versus someone that knows nothing, just comes to you and asks a crazy low number for Amazing Comics. So with all that said, the next book I picked up was Amazing Spider-Man issue 122. I've owned this book before. It's one of my favorites. I love John Romita drawing the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, and he is the cover artist for this. This was written by Jerry Conway. It is from 1973. It is the death of the Green Goblin. So issue 121, Gwen Stacy dies. This one, Peter Parker gets his revenge, kills the Green Goblin. Comics, he comes back. What did I pay for this? I asked him, he said $25. This I estimate to be about a 6.0 to 7.0 with a clean and press. It's got a spine roll on it, but other than that, the spine is pretty clean. The corners are clean. There's no tears, rips. The back's just as beautiful. I estimate this in the grade, if it's a 6.0 to 7.0 raw, it's probably in like the $120 to $130 range. But again, that's what they wanted for it. They had the other book marked appropriately, so I said 95 for both, and he said, yep. And I said, okay. I didn't haggle on them. I didn't try to get them cheaper. I saw it as incredibly serendipitous that this book was coming to me for that cheap. So I bought it. This one I'm going to keep in my collection. I feel like it's the universe telling me I need to just hold on to this book. I don't think I'm going to grade it or anything, just be able to read it and see that wonderful art inside. So yeah, this was just another great pickup on the day. One of 2 raw books I got, and then I'll show you my last book. I did come away with a graded comic this day, and I think this was a really good deal for this comic. I got this from my buddies Mark and Aaron of Blue Eyes Auction. They run a Facebook page. They're huge dealers. He was the one I featured that had that amazing 15 he found in Syracuse, New York. He graded it, came out at a 2.5, and he did in fact sell it. So he had a box of graded comics, and this one caught my eye. I don't collect this title, but I think this is one of the best covers from the 90s. Like, it's just, the way it's composed just does it for me. And it is Uncanny X-Men issue 268 from 1990. And it is a Chris Claremont story, Jim Lee and Scott Williams cover and art with a Captain America and Black Widow appearance. It is a verified Jim Lee autograph. I have found I'm really enjoying collecting books signed by prolific creators. I have a John Buscema autograph. I have a Stan Lee autograph. I have a Roy Thomas and Frank Bruner autograph. And I was like, I should have a Jim Lee. I grew up in the 90s. I loved comics in the 90s. I loved his art. So Mark had this priced at $100. He said, for you, Brandon, 80 bucks. I always try to buy comics from him. I thought that was incredibly fair because if you send in a book to do a CG signing with Jim Lee, it's going to cost you 120 bucks for the signature, the grading, and then actually you're going to pay a little more. You have to pay the shipping back. So I thought this was an incredibly fair deal. I love this cover with Cap and Black Widow just kind of standing, looming over with Wolverine at the ready. I think it's one of Jim Lee's best work, and I was really happy to add to the collection for 80 bucks. I couldn't go wrong, and I said, I'll pick it up. So, yeah, Uncanny X-Men 268 in the collection. So I like to think I had a pretty good show. I went for quality over quantity. You guys saw in the footage, I could have come home with a lot more comics. I was looking for some reading material, didn't see anything that interested me, but I thought these were the books that if I'm going to come home with a few, these are the ones to do it. So what did I pay for all these? I paid $175 for all these comics. I think that is a really fair deal considering how expensive the Amazing Spider-Man 122 can go for and what it would cost if I were to send in this book to get it signed at a CGC event with Jim Lee. So I think for $175, come away with these 3 books. One will be in a giveaway and 2 will hold on to forever. Was really great. I was really stoked to go out and get some great deals on comics. I bought the Amazing Spider-Man 122 online before, and it was just kind of a hollow experience when you buy online. I have to do a lot of that being in the middle of nowhere, but to get this in person for that price was awesome. So guys, comment down below what your favorite pickup was that I grabbed. Do you agree with my ethics, theory in my head? And if you're liking this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. Really pumped about this. Tomorrow night, I've got the Big 5 live. I've got some great creators. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd love to see it pop by the show. I am a 2025 CBC finalist for the show in the 1,000 to 2,000 tier category for Best Comic Show. Very grateful, as well as Community Builder. I'm also a finalist in that category. So, guys, check out all the channels that are finalists, and if you want to vote for your boy, I'd appreciate it. But hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow night, and until next time, keep reading those comics.